You tell yourself you don't like who you are, maybe even that you hate yourself. But if someone asked you a simple question, who are you really? You wouldn't know what to say, and that silence might be the real problem. It doesn't always feel like confusion. It feels like dissatisfaction. You look at your life, your habits, your decisions, and something feels off. Not dramatically wrong, just misaligned. You try to fix it. You change routines. You set goals. You compare yourself to others. But no matter what you do, there's this quiet discomfort underneath everything. Like you're playing a role you never fully chose. And over time, that feeling turns inward. You start judging yourself. Why am I like this? Why can't I figure myself out? Why do I feel so disconnected from my own life? It begins to feel personal, like something is wrong with you. But here's what's strange. If you really sit with it, the frustration isn't clear. It's vague, undefined, because you're not reacting to something specific. You're reacting to something missing, and that missing piece is harder to notice. What if this isn't self-hate? What if it's something quieter, something less obvious? What if you don't hate yourself, you just don't know yourself? Because real self-hate is specific. It has clear reasons, clear patterns, clear triggers. But what you're feeling is more like confusion mixed with pressure, and confusion often gets mislabeled. Your brain tries to make sense of discomfort, so it creates a simple explanation. Something must be wrong with me. But that's not always true. Sometimes there's no clear identity to rely on, no internal reference point. So everything feels uncertain, and uncertainty feels uncomfortable. So you turn that discomfort into self-criticism, not because it's accurate, but because it's easier to believe. Your brain is designed to build a sense of self, not as a fixed identity, but as a predictive model, a pattern, something that helps you answer, what will I do? What do I value? How do I respond? This model is built through experience, through repetition, through consistent behavior over time. But if your experiences are inconsistent or shaped by external expectations, that model never fully stabilizes. Instead, it becomes fragmented, a mix of roles, different versions of you activated in different situations. Psychology calls this self-concept instability. And when your self-concept is unstable, your brain struggles to predict you. That creates cognitive tension, because your mind prefers certainty. So when it can't define you clearly, it fills the gap with judgment. Why are you like this? Why can't you just be consistent? But here's the deeper layer. Without a stable sense of self, you rely more on external signals. Other people's reactions, social comparisons, temporary feelings, and those signals are always changing. So your identity starts to feel unstable, like you're constantly shifting. And when you can't anchor yourself internally, you start to feel disconnected. Not because you hate yourself, but because there's no clear self to connect to. So how do you build that clarity? Not by forcing identity, but by observing and stabilizing it. 1. Track your real patterns, not your intentions, what to do. Pay attention to what you actually do, not what you think you should do. Why it works. Your brain builds identity through behavioral consistency, not ideas. Observing real patterns helps form a stable self-model. Example, you say you value discipline, but notice you consistently choose comfort. That's not failure. That's data. 2. Reduce external noise, what to do. Limit constant comparison, social media, opinions, outside validation. Why it works. Too many external inputs overload your brain's self-referencing system, making it harder to form internal clarity. Example, you stop measuring yourself against others daily and start noticing your own preferences more clearly. 3. Make small identity-based choices, what to do. Choose actions based on who you want to be, but keep them small and repeatable. Why it works. Repeated actions strengthen neural pathways, gradually forming a stable identity pattern. Example: instead of saying, "I'll become disciplined," you do one small task daily without skipping. Over time, your brain updates. This is who I am. 4. Sit with uncertainty without labeling it what to do. When you feel confused about yourself, don't immediately judge it. Why it works? This reduces cognitive overreaction, allowing your brain to process ambiguity without turning it into negative identity beliefs. Example: instead of thinking "I'm lost," you notice, "I don't know yet." That small shift removes pressure. 5. Build self-knowledge through reflection, not assumption what to do. Regularly reflect on your actions, reactions, and feelings without trying to fix them instantly. Why it works? Reflection strengthens the prefrontal cortex's role in self-awareness, helping you build a clearer internal model. Example: you ask yourself, "What did I feel today? What did I avoid? What felt natural?" And slowly patterns begin to appear. At its core, this isn't about fixing yourself. It's about finding yourself. Your mind isn't broken. It's incomplete, still forming, still learning what patterns define you. Think of your identity like a map. Not something you're given, but something you draw. Every action is a line. Every choice is a direction. And if you've never paused to look at the map, it will feel like you're lost. But you're not lost. You're just uncharted. You don't hate yourself. You've just been trying to understand something you were never taught to see clearly. And that takes time, not force, not pressure, just attention. Because the more you observe yourself without judgment, the more familiar you become. And one day that question won't feel so heavy anymore. Who am I? It will feel quieter, not fully answered, but no longer empty.